Back on the plot again. I'm continuing with the path. I will get it done by the end of the year, but while I concentrate on this, I sent Phil off to do some little chores around the plot.
It's time we cleared these runner beans. A few weeks ago when the storm hit, we just laid them down flat, and we've been gradually collecting the pods over the last few weeks as they've been turning brown and saving the seeds for next year. But we need to, the frost has had them, and we need to just get this cleared. So what we're going to do, you can still see the plants in the ground. We're just going to cut them off ground level, leave the roots in. The nitrogen will continue to fix in the ground, and we'll get all this stuff cleared and just clear the top off and leave it for winter. What we're going to do with the old runner bean plants is actually, rather than put them on the compost, which we do if we picked and harvested all the beans off them, we're going to put them on the bonfire instead. If we leave these in the compost, they'll self-seed and start growing in all the wrong places next year, which is of course no good to us. We're fortunate enough to have a derelict plot here with a bonfire ready built for us. It's a communal bonfire, and we're just going to chuck them on there and use that instead. Last week Joey cleared this path next to the herb bed with the intention of planting a load of bulbs in it and sacrificing the path. We've had a bit of a discussion today, and one of the problems is access to this bed. Clearly one of the jobs we have to do today is to remove all these flowers that have gone past and clear the space for next year. But one thing we've decided to do, instead of sacrificing the whole path, is just put a little edge in, create a smaller path, and then we can plant our bulbs at the back. They're clearly defined, easy access, and we can walk through without problem. First thing I'm going to do is just get rid of these old flowers. Now, as with the runner beans, these are full of seed pods, so we're going to put these on the bonfire and not in the compost. So this is our very crude border that we've just put in, and we'll plant a load of bulbs in there and just fill the space. We've got 4 different types of bulbs. We've got some freesias, some daffs, crocuses and tulips. Now, it's an allotment. We don't want things to look military, so we're going to actually chuck all these in a bucket, mix all the bulbs up and plant them quite randomly in this space. So to plant the bulbs, all we need to do is make sure that the roots are at the bottom, the buds at the top, and we push them to the ground at the required depth in quite a haphazard manner all along this space. Joey's still digging behind me, clearing that path. While he's doing that, I'm just doing a little bit of maintenance on these onions and garlics we planted. Just need some general weeding on them. It doesn't matter what time of year, the weeds will continue to grow. It's better to get them now while they're small. One thing I've noticed while I'm here though is that the hard-necked garlics are finally coming through. They're quite a bit behind the soft necks. We were slightly concerned at one stage as to how well they were doing, but they were coming through, they were looking strong, and we look forward to harvesting those. I'm just deviating slightly away from the plot we've used for filming in the past 12 months. Now we've of course tried every week to show you what we do in allotment at each stage as we progress through the year. This however is my original plot. This is where it started for me 6 years ago. The reason we're here is that I quite like trying to grow different things, and I've always used this plot to experiment with different crops. And one thing I tried earlier in the year were these dahlia yams. Now they were extremely beautiful when they were growing, very colourful flowers as you'd expect from dahlias. They've now gone past, gone brown, the frost has had them, so it's time to harvest. The plot we've been filming on, of course, has been a basic, typical allotment plot. And we're reaching the stage of the year where there's not much left to harvest. So we thought we'd bring you here and show you what else we've got going on, and hopefully we'll show you a lot more of that into next year. But these dahlia yams, fantastic. Looks like a really good crop of these. Just snap these off. And allegedly these can be used in salads, raw, or cooked in stews and soups. So this is a really good harvest. This is one dahlia yam, and these little yams we just pull off. These are good clean, obviously. We can't do that that's down here at the moment because, as you know from last week, the water's been turned off, so we'll take that home and try them. and see what happens. We'll report back later.
This is getting harder the further down the path I go. Got a tree stump there that means I'm coming across roots, so I'm going to pack this in for now. Don't forget this time of year to keep those bird feeders full up, a bit of water out there for the birds, etc., because the weather is starting to turn. Hopefully we'll have something else to show you next week.